What's up, my 5-9 gaming crew? Lethal went up here, and guys, welcome back to another 5-9 gaming weekly wrap. You know, basically the video where we go back, look at the news of gaming, and we talk about it right here, right now. I got 4 pieces of news that I want to share with you guys this week, so let's jump into this, starting with the first one. This one hurt me personally, but it's always for a good reason. Horizon Forbidden West got delayed to 2022, specifically the first quarter, but we'll jump more into that. This came from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. Keep that in mind as well. Not 100% right until PlayStation says it themselves. Jason said, Sony has delayed the PlayStation exclusive Horizon Forbidden West to the first quarter of 2022. A source tells Bloomberg, confirming a rumor shared by Jeff Grubb yesterday, which Jeff Grubb is kind of, I don't want to say he's like another like insider leaker, but he does tend to have also information about things before they happen. So he's basically corroborating his report with his, and the latest in video games industry's cascade of 2021 delays. That's the official tweet. All right, let's look at this because it kind of sucks, because in my mind, that was going to be the big game to like cap off the PlayStation exclusive year for 2021. Now, don't get me wrong. This first year lineup already, you know, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, right? Miles Morales and everything. Like, the first year has already been absolutely incredibly insane. So if you tell me, I think PlayStation did a great job. However, of course, I think, you know, me and a bunch of you guys as well was really looking forward to the big release of Horizon Forbidden West to also drop to kind of cap off the year, right? And be like, yo, crazy first year for the PlayStation 5. But I feel like this rumor has been kind of going on for a while now, and then even Herman Hulst himself over at PlayStation, even they were saying like, hey, you know, we're trying to do our best to make sure this game does drop for 2021, but it's kind of just not a guarantee just yet. They can't guarantee it. So I think, again, this is even like exactly gonna happen. You don't even know what's gonna happen until PlayStation says it themselves. We don't know. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are saying this, and they haven't really even given us an update to their release date yet for this game. So at this point, we're already reaching August. There's a very like a 90% chance that this is definitely gonna be happening. But yeah, I mean, that does now beg the question of, what else is dropping for PlayStation exclusive wise, I guess you could say, right? Even big AAA release games. Like, do we have anything to expect coming into the holiday season? Which this game would have totally been. But at this point, if that's going to be the case, what is dropping, right? So I went back, I thought about it, okay, they did just announce a bunch of director's cut. We are getting a director's cut of the Iki Island expansion for Ghost of Tsushima, but that drops this month, right? Let's look more towards like fall and holiday. Holiday, I don't know for really much, if anything, but more or less fall is like the big time. So fall, we do have the Death Stranding director's cut that's dropping. And then we do have Kena. If you guys remember, Kena Bridge of Spirits just got delayed now to September as well. So that kind of falls into the fall category, which makes me think, I could have sworn that this game, they said it was gold. It was in the gold phase, like it was done. It's official. Interesting, it got pushed back, and I'm wondering if this is to kind of help for more of like the fall lineup for PlayStation themselves. But either way, Kena got pushed back. Let me see. Then you had the big one, which is also Deathloop, I think, right? That also comes in September, which is a lot of games in September now I think about it. But that's it. So give me your guys' thoughts. Now that Horizon is dropping, Forbidden West is dropping into 2022, it looks like they'll probably be competing with potentially Breath of the Wild 2, which you don't even know if that's going to be dropping, that's even a maybe, right? There's other games like even Starfield, right? So give me your thoughts. Do you care if it's, you know, releasing in 2022? Did you want it to release this year? Keep in mind, always, if a game gets delayed, it just means it gives the developers more time to work on it, right? And to polish it up, make it a better game, which at the end of the day, that's always a better thing. You should always want that. And so of course I want that. Just sucks. So I'm so like dying to play that game, especially when Genshin Impact, for those of you that play that, you know, they're getting Aloy, and I was like, oh man, like that's probably gonna be a good indicator that they're marketing the crap out of Forbidden West or Horizon Forbidden West. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comment section. Let's go ahead and drop down now to story number 2. PlayStation drops support for beta users to add an M.2 solid state drive to the PlayStation 5. This came right from PlayStation themselves. Essentially, again, it's just a feature that's only available to beta users at this time. The internal M.2 SSD expansion feature will be enabled via an upcoming PlayStation 5 system software update. Now, of course, this is great for those looking to expand their storage. However, keep in mind that the compatible basically SSDs that I saw available were ranging between, I think it was like $150, $170, upwards to like $300, and a lot of people were not big on that. So you think about the cost, factor into speeds too, because apparently some of the speeds of those don't even match up to what the actual PlayStation 5 SSD gives. So that's like another thing to think about. And then there's this whole thing about having to have get compatible SSDs that are also compatible or work with, or if you need to upgrade a heatsink, which I do not get technical for this type of stuff. I have no idea. I'm reading off of what I learned. And so for those of you that know about all that stuff, you can probably relate to say that, yeah, it can get kind of technical real quick. Like, it can get super technical and kind of complicated. So it might be worth just waiting to see what releases later on. Maybe they'll do an official product from PlayStation themselves. When I read that news, I thought to myself, man, kudos to Xbox, what they did for their expansion storage, right? They had like that external SSD card, I think, from Seagate that you can go ahead and just plug into the back of your Xbox. Like it was like an actual like an M.2 solid state slot, I think, on the back of the Xbox Series X, I believe. But it's super easy. You plug in, download whatever you want to do. You can take it out. It's basically like a plug and play, right? You can take it to go and everything. So I think Xbox, when it came to that, crushed it. I think PlayStation still needs to. I think they need to do something like that in the future. I don't know if they can do something with like a third-party accessory or whatever. It probably can. Again, you'll probably see more of this stuff later on, right, for more different options and whatnot. But to say Xbox, at least around the launch time, but that idea and how they're doing it, crushed it. Of course, it's expensive. I think it's like over $200, but I think it's way better than having to open up your PlayStation, read the guide that's on the official PlayStation website or whatever to take out certain parts and all that stuff. I think going into like where we're at now, especially with people getting more into gaming, because let's be real, gaming right now is bigger probably than it's ever been, and so you're having a lot more people that didn't really care for stuff like this now actually care for things like this. So I think they could have done that way better. So again, props to Xbox for doing a way better job of that. But yeah, give me your thoughts about that down below as well. Now we have a bunch of games that are releasing for both Xbox Games with Gold. You have PlayStation Plus and Nintendo. I want to talk about Nintendo specifically because I think this one always gets more traction than the other two, because everybody looks forward to like what Nintendo Switch Online is offering with like their NES or SNES collection, and basically they're dropping 3 new games. Now this is story number 3, comes officially right from Nintendo themselves. I'm gonna read the tweet. The official tweet reads, additional games have now been added to the SNES collection through Nintendo Switch Online, including Claymates, Jelly Boy, and Bamboozle, 3 games of which I've never heard or ever played. And then they say, enjoy over 100 classic titles with Nintendo Switch Online, ready for you to play or replay at any time. Now let me just say, I was huge into like my Nintendo consoles. I grew up with like Game Boy and stuff. I think when it came to like maybe the Wii era, I kind of like really kind of stepped back a bit, because I always grew up with Nintendo and PlayStation, I kind of just remember jumping right back into it. PS3, PS4 were pretty big for me, and I kind of fell off a little bit of Nintendo, I will say. But then Switch came out, I hopped on Switch really quick. I think even Wii U, I was such a late adopter to that by the time I hopped into the Wii U ecospace, I was just really into Switch at that point. So, but I remember getting really hyped for Nintendo Switch, and I think Nintendo Switch Online is a really cool thing, especially for these legacy titles, right? I think what they're doing is a great thing. However, I don't know about you guys, but seeing here's 3 new games being added to the SNES collection, which already has great games on there, but they're adding Claymates, Jelly Boy, and Bamboozle. I'm just sitting here like, man, that's not hype. Like, that's not exactly exciting. But the internet, which is what I was gonna say, was the internet absolutely burned this tweet down. You got tons of comments flooding talking about where's Earthbound, Super Mario RPG. In fact, the official YouTube post for this had 15,000 dislikes and basically 3,000 likes. It's pretty clear people, I think, are just kind of done with Nintendo Switch Online at this point and are not happy with what they're providing for, I guess you could say, the SNES collection. But I will say, $20 for the year is an absolute steal. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the service is nearly like top tier compared to like Xbox and PlayStation for their online service, but I think it's not bad for what it is. But I think, honestly, people are ready for the next collection jump, right? Let's move past NES and SNES. I think people are dying to get into, like, N64, right? I mean, people are talking about GameCube. Listen, hell, I'll take Game Boy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down to get into probably more familiar territory, at least for me. I didn't really grow up with the SNES. I was way too small for that, or I don't even know if I was born yet. But definitely N64, I know a little bit of. More or less Game Boy, that was where I'm at. So I think if they jump into there, that would be perfect. perfect. But give me your guys' thoughts about that. I mean, I also wouldn't mind paying more too, right? Because let's be real, a lot of the games I dropped on N64 and basically Game Boy and up are just worth so much more, I think, than their NES and SNES. So I think if they wanted to price hike Nintendo Switch Online to, you know, give better games, like say they start doing an N64 collection, I'd be down for that. I'll pay an extra 10 a month, 15. Listen, when it comes to Nintendo, I think a lot of us are willing to pay whatever. It's pretty sad, but sometimes it's the case. But I think I'm ready for a brand new collection. I don't know about you guys, but let me know down below in your thoughts. Going into, I guess, story number 4, which is kind of jumping off of the last story. PlayStation Plus and Xbox Games with Gold for the month of August got unveiled. Let's jump first with Xbox. The official Xbox Game with Gold for August are as follows. Darksiders 3 releasing on August 1st to the 31st. Then you have Yooka-Laylee, that's August 16th to September 15th. Then for the 360 games, you got Lost Planet 3, August 1st to the 15th. And then you got Guru, Mark of the Wolves, August 16th to 31st. And your official PlayStation Plus games for the month of August is you're going to get for PS4, Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville, and then Tennis World Tour 2. And then PlayStation 5, I'm actually really excited for this one. It's the debut of Hunters Arena Legends, which they showed in their showcase games. It just recently showed off again in another state of play that we just had recently for Horizon Forbidden West. And that game looked really cool. It was kind of like a battle royale, but it was kind of like an arena fighter, whatever you want to call it. It looked different, and so I'm not the biggest person for battle royale games, but this one, because it's a different kind of format, I'm definitely going to try it out. So I urge you guys to definitely check that out as well. Xbox, Lost Planet 3, phenomenal game. The fact that it's even becoming available, I think, is a steal. Darksiders 3 is probably a really good game as well. I've only ever played, I think, the first Darksiders. I don't think I ever touched the number 2 and number 3 or whatever. But give me your thoughts. How do you feel about those games of the month for both platforms? But more or less, I'm more for Nintendo. I want to hear what you guys have to say about Nintendo Switch Online, because I believe you guys are probably maybe more into Nintendo, possibly, than the other platforms. But give me your thoughts. I want to hear about all 3 of them, but more or less, Nintendo. Are you guys ready to see some N64, GameCube, or something? Again, let me know down below. And that's it. That's all I have. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you follow us on Twitch as well. We got a lot of things planned. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to throw one up. And thank you guys for watching. Peace.